Hello and good morning. My name is Keegan Hochstrasser, and today I will be giving my senior presentation. Now, before I dive into the content of my presentation, I would like to tell you why I wanted to go first on a Monday morning. Typically on Monday mornings, my face is plastered on screens much like this throughout the entirety of the school, telling you about the school events hosted for the week, as well as the community outreach possibilities and the correctional schemes to better the entire school. Now, this small aspect of me just being displayed in front of the school is a steady progression of how I have grown throughout the years of high school. When I came into this school in 8th grade, I was very isolated. I did not want to do anything in the community, and I didn't want to hang out with any of my friends at school. However, throughout the years, certain things have changed me and molded me into such a way that now I am a positive person, and I like to engage with those around me. So this is a steady progression of how I went from a fixed mindset follower to a happy growth mindset leader. So, how does one make that steady progression? Well, first and foremost, you take drama. No, I'm just kidding. However, you do need to take electives that will break you outside of your shell and then make you into something that you definitely want to be. So, for example, I chose drama because it wasn't art, and that was really the only other elective that I could do. So, Artifact 1 is from sophomore year in the 3rd quarter. Now, Artifact 2 is from the 4th quarter and also sophomore year. Now, these two artifacts show how involvement as well as commitment to a cause can result a person in success. So, the first artifact will be my storybook performance from sophomore year drama class. Now, this grade was a 4 out of 4 simply because it was the first time that I realized that someone can put excitement into their studies. What a shocker. So I finally got this new idea, a new aspect to approaching my studies in such a way that I can put my excitement as well as involve myself directly into it using my inner self. Just so I can prove that I aced it. There you go. Now, my second artifact was from the 4th quarter, and it was the first performance. This was the monologue performance. So this was all me. I ended up writing this material myself and showing it in front of a large audience. Now, I aced this project as well simply because I now started talking to my teachers about my grades. And this is really the first class where I inevitably broke out of the shell of being isolated within myself and then talking to my peers, talking to my teachers, and then having course studies beyond just isolation. Just so I'm not blowing smoke, I aced that one as well. Now, this was involvement, the skill that mainly I used. So I involved myself inside of this class as well as put myself into my studies more. And I grew from an arrogant, fixed mindset and then a lack of determination. And I left with excitement put into my studies. Thank you, drama class. Now, I also gained opportunity from this class. What opportunity? Well, we also have a play at the end of every drama class. So I was given the lead in this play, which was a great responsibility put on me because I had a whole lot of lines to learn, but Miss Allen thought that I was able for the task. I also was voted vice president for the drama club as well as president of production for that play junior year. So this class definitely helped me grow and then build myself personally. Now, on to my second standard, I have science class. Before I even discuss science, I should let you guys know I'm not a science person. I was never intrigued by the processes as well as the amount of vocabulary one needs to know. However, come chemistry class, things started to change. So Artifact 1 I will show is from the 1st quarter of junior year, and it's a fundamentals test, and the final, Artifact 2, was the final. These two artifacts show how maximum effort and then persistence leads to success. So for my first test, my test prep, what was it? There was no test prep. I just relied solely on the in-class participation. And I thought I'd coach myself through because that's how I approached my studies before. Did that work? No. So this is where we changed to our 4-point system, and I got 2.5s all across the board as displayed up there. So a comment from myself from junior year was, oh darn, what am I going to do? I failed a test. It wasn't until halfway through the semester halfway through the year that I realized that's not okay. So my final, I ended up acing simply because I started talking to my teacher more as well as I started getting excited about the material. I realized I can learn from a class when I'm excited about it. So I tried to change my mind in such a way that what I was learning was actually applicable outside of school. So what this did, this showed me that through extensive research as well as approaching studies in such a way that I am actually excited about it will ultimately ultimately end in success. And all I can say from this, I was absolutely speechless, and I was very proud of myself for acing the final. Now, this perseverance allowed me to end in success, of course, and I grew from distraught feelings as well as a lack of understanding, and I left with a deep knowledge and a perfect recollection of all the standards. Now, my final standard that I'll be sharing is community service. So, throughout the years, I have grown from a very isolated person and not wanting to go into the community and do anything like at all to a person who loves to go out and help people. So, my artifact 1 is a screenshot from sophomore year showing that I didn't even do my senior project second semester, and that big fat whopping F will forever be on my transcript just haunting me. So, what this did was ultimately dog down on my self-esteem senior year, because I was approached by Miss Nagy, and then she said, "Hey, bud, if you even want to see that graduation stage, you're going to have to put in 20 hours. And I said, "Okay." So that's exactly what I did. Senior year and junior year, Miss Gatfield gives you the opportunity to go to a farmway village. And this farmway village is located out in Caldwell, and then what you do is you put in a lot of work, a lot of hard work, and then ultimately you give more back than what you give to the community. So obviously I aced the grade because I put in the 20 hours, and then my effort put forth into this project was everything that I had. Everything that I had means getting blisters as well as a whole bunch of other stuff on my body, which I don't want to go into, but I was excited and I was happy about it. And I really, for one of the first times, felt bliss about breaking down a wall. And that was a comment. Being a large man with a sledgehammer, you got to tell everybody to watch out. Here are just two pictures of, these are my two artifacts of senior project. This is me breaking down a wall, and this is all my friends that accompanied me in Farmway Village. Now what? Now that I've been shaped, molded, as well as taught the good and bad traits to possess, I plan to better the community as well as those around me and who I come into contact with by reflecting these certain qualities: hard work, appreciation for not only what I do, but what I receive, having a growth mindset, perseverance, gratitude, and finally, a smile always. To conclude, thank you, my Compass family, for getting me to where I am today. Thank you.
Thank you, Keegan, for your, as usual, very dynamic presentations. So I am curious about, I know you have started working this year.
Yes.
And I know that's perhaps been a bit of a challenge. Can you talk to us about how you manage your time in terms of balancing school and work and social life and all that stuff?
Yes, absolutely. So at the beginning of senior year, I acquired a job at Sonic, and then throughout the course of the year, I've been promoted to manager. So this is actually very difficult because of the time management aspect. So with school and work, I ended up asking to work later shifts and then ending up being able to sleep in the time between school and work as well as do my schoolwork. Also, utilizing and then putting maximum effort into using my free periods here at school definitely helped me achieve better grades, and also talking to my teachers about possibilities of correctional plans on missed assignments has definitely helped me as well. And getting a schedule.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Kudos for going early on a Monday morning, so bless you for that. So, drama. What would you say to high schools that are planning to cut their arts programs due to funding?
I would like to say shame on them, first of all. However, I believe that drama class is very important because I actually took drama classes from 7th grade all the way up to sophomore year, and simply because I enjoy being in front of the stage and I kind of like being the center of attention sometimes. Shocker. But I think that it definitely grows kids who are very isolated and within themselves out, and then puts them out into the audience, and then they get this personal relationship with those that they're presenting in front of, and it definitely changes who they are. So I think that cutting an arts program would be detrimental to the students.
All right, good job. Yeah, you really do demonstrate all of these qualities, and you bring such a positive atmosphere to this school. So you touched on what you plan on doing with these qualities in the future, but really, what is your tangible plan moving forward? You've gained a lot from Compass. Over and over, whenever I hear about your story, it's about how you've grown and changed and taken ownership of that, which is awesome. But what do you plan on doing moving forward after you leave?
Yeah, so my plan after high school is I plan on taking a leap semester, not an entire leap year so that I lose motivation. However, I was accepted into the University of Idaho College, and I plan to go up there and study communications as well as marketing, and then I plan to utilize that in going into a field of study where I can interact with people and then maybe sell products and then make people happy on a daily basis.
Can you talk about a book that you read in high school and what impact it may have had on you?
Yeah, absolutely. So a book that I read in U.S. history was All Quiet on the Western Front, and this book definitely showed me how being enemies with someone on a national scale doesn't necessarily mean that you have to hate the race or whoever you're interacting with on a personal level. So dumbing that down into my life, if there's an opposing team that when I played football, I didn't have to go out and hate the entirety of the team simply because they were my rival. However, I could befriend certain people on the team and then just for the sake of competition, move forward and then play my hardest. So this book taught me that I don't necessarily have to hate someone just because everyone around me hates them. I can befriend people in any certain circumstance. Thank you. Absolutely.